What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. Okay, so I wanted to touch on a couple of things in this video here, just in general, to help some of you guys out with understanding. When you hear these so-called alleged financial gurus or people that are promoting scams, basically. Scams. They're promoting scams, to understand, why they are tethering along the lines of illegalities more so, but also because why they're afraid of being caught. Okay. You have whole government agencies that are putting out information, putting out warnings, saying to, these are the signs of what to look out for, and, hoping to protect the public from these scams. A scam is a scam. It is what it is. When you deceive someone, telling them that they can get some sort of financial gain through some promise of a return on investment or passive income or whatever, and you don't deliver, or that's not what your business is, or you can't prove that you're trading, or you can't prove that, any revenue or earnings are being made, you've basically taken someone's money under a deception, under a falsehood. It is not the consumer's fault. If you're lying about what you do in this so-called alleged business, which turns out to be a scam, telling people that you're investing their money to generate revenue. So no one should feel that if you fell victim to a scam, that is, you only invest at your own risk. Invest what you can afford to lose. That's the one thing that you hear these promoters of these scams say. They all say the same rhetoric. All of them. Like they're all under the same mind control or something. It's like none of them have a brain. So all of them always say, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You should only invest in what you can afford to lose. Well, I don't expect someone who is promoting a scam that has no losses, that's only promising gains, and astronomical gains at that, every week or every month, to say something along the lines of what you would see in a stock market or with the stocks. If you have a MLM scam that's constantly touting money that is guaranteed every week, then you have no losses. So to tell someone to invest in money that you can afford to lose is a null and void point. It does not apply to this MLM scam because there's no losses. So they say things that fit their narrative when they don't want to look as stupid as they are. When they don't want to look like they've done something criminal. When they don't want to look as if they have fostered and promoted a scam, knowing that they have done that the entire time, and all of their videos are just a treasure trove of evidence to prove such. An MLM scam should not be touting anything with the characteristic of a legitimate stock or trade that's in the stock market, that fluctuate with stocks in a stock market, because they're not even registered. They don't want to be regulated with the FTC. They're not registered with the FTC. So therefore, they're not going to operate as if they are a legitimate stock or trade. They're promising, MLM scams are promising people that they have no losses, that you can get 3 or 4% every week in returns. How is that promoting a realistic concept that you should not invest money that you can't afford to lose, when you're not promoting and operating as if you have losses? You're promising people gain every week with no loss. That's when it becomes an issue of a scam and should be seen as a scam, and you should treat it like a scam, and then pursue the law with this scam to get this scam eradicated. Because they don't have the right to just steal people's money. And if they have to be deceptive about it, and they can't be truthful and honest, they can't even register with the FTC, then they don't, they want this to come off as a scam. They don't care whether they steal your money or not. MLM scams do not think about real investment. They don't care about whether or not you lose money. No, the whole point of them is to use it as a quick cash grab. So here's some information from the Federal Trade Commission, consumer advice, because you have government agencies out there that are looking out for its citizens and its consumers and its investors and financial institutions, so that we can keep these scams out of our stock markets and out of our financial institutions, out of our economy. Because no one has the right to scam or defraud you at any cost. So if we go down when a business offer or coaching program is a scam, you'll see some of the ways and some of the examples that is provided by the FTC here, how to spot, a scam or even a coaching scam. These so-called financial gurus, and you can make money doing this, and click on this link below to buy this book and look at this video and go through this class. And it's flooded in YouTube anyway. Just flooded with these fake financial gurus, none of which sound like they passed 12th grade. Like they're selling you a pipe dream. They're not giving any real advice. Most of them can't even read the stock market. They can't tell you what a stock index is. They don't know that, what a market is, and can't even define certain things to you related to the stock market and investment opportunities. So that's the stuff you have to look out for. And they appeal to people who are desperate, and people who are not knowledgeable, and people who just want to help, quickly build their finances, build their money up. And I've always said, as fast as you get money, it can be as fast as you lose it. So fast money is not good money. No, a bank is not going to give you 3% ROI every week, because that will literally take all of the money on the planet, because simple math says so. Simple math. Simple math. There are so many videos and resources you can Google just to see the calculations of what 3% ROI on even $1,000 looks like every week over 20 years. You would literally need almost most of the money on the planet to guarantee someone a consistent return like that over an extended period of time. It defies math. So you have to be able to at least do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division when you're listening to these people talk about what they can give you. And it's based on recruitment. Oh my God. So even with just that alone, to me, red flag, nope. But if you got your money in a bank, what they don't tell you is, if you got your money in a bank, the FDIC insures your money up to $250,000. So put your money in a scam, it's gone forever. You got to sue these people to get it back, or hope that a cease and desist order includes restitution, or that the SEC, FBI files charges, and then that includes restitution as well. You put your money in an actual, real, legitimate bank, is insured up until $250,000. So you might get 3 or 4% per year on your ROI, but you know that if something happens, it's a bank run, the bank closes, whatever, and the money is lost and the bank is responsible, you can file a claim with the FDIC and get your money up until $250K. So those are the things they don't tell you. They don't tell you your money is guaranteed in the bank either. But you will hear these coaching scams and these promoters of these scams say, all of them say the same dumb crap. Is stupid, and it's not anybody's fault if you were deceived or lied to about a potential investment opportunity, and it turned out to be a scam, and you put money into that thinking that it was an actual investment opportunity. Because these MLM scams, these pyramid schemes, do not benefit everybody. It just benefits the top tier people. That's it. They're the ones that benefit the most. And then when people lose their money, they have no soul or conscience, and they could care less about that. And then that's when they go spouting off. Only invest what you can lose. Where they're the idiots that's going to be named in cease and desist orders and have lawsuits filed against them. That's not a threat. That's called the law. and they can brush that away. They want to detach themselves from reality or the law altogether and think it doesn't apply to them, but it does. It does. It does. So I just want to go through this so you guys can see online business coaching and this type of scheme. The promoters typically claim you can make big money with little or no experience. They say their experts will teach you a proven method for building a successful business on the internet. Many say or suggest that they're affiliated with well-known online sellers when that's not true, or say things like, you can make 5 to 6 figures if you follow our system. But that doesn't happen. Learn from the experts how to generate income. But that's a false promise. You can be making money now, guaranteed, but no one can guarantee that you'll make money in business. Our students make between 50% to 100% return on their investment in the first year. But these are nothing but made up numbers, because there's no proof of any of that, because they can't give it. The scammers make it sound easy. Make it sound like it's easy to set up online or some sort of business online, make money, and say that for a fee, they can show you how to do it. While enticing, it's not true. Hundreds of thousands have learned this the hard way after losing thousands of dollars to scammers for bogus business coaching services that left them with nothing but debt and broken dreams. Then you have real estate seminar and investment coaching scams. And it goes on to pyramid schemes. Promoters of a pyramid scheme typically try to recruit you with pitches about what you'll earn. They may say you can change your life, quit your job, even get rich by selling the company's products and getting others to join the enterprise. But if the real focus is on recruiting others, not on selling the company's product, that business offer is a scam. Novatech is a scam because it relies on nothing but recruitments, because they don't sell any products or services. It's just a scam. Their crypto tokens have no value. They're not registered. It's a scam. You can't do anything with their tokens. You can't take it to a bank and get real US dollars with it, because no one recognizes it, because it's not registered. It's fake. It's fake. Pyramid schemes are set up to encourage recruitment to keep a constant stream of new distributors, or basically their money, flowing into the business. Pyramid schemes can look remarkably like legitimate multi-level marketing business opportunities. But if you become a distributor for a pyramid scheme, you'll be involved in a scam that can cost you and your recruits, often your family members and friends, substantial time and money. People who become involved in pyramid schemes typically lose everything they invest, and some also end up deeply in debt. Novatech is an MLM scam that offers you nothing. It just tells you, hey, we do trading, but can't prove they're trading. Their platform, the website is all fake. So the only thing that keeps this scam going is people coming in with new money. That's it. That's why they don't want you to take it out. But at the end of the day, either they're going to give the money back to you willingly, or they can give it back to you forcefully through a lawsuit or the cease and desist orders that offers you the opportunity for restitution. So they can cooperate, give you the money back, or you can file a lawsuit and get it back that way. But one of the things that these promoters of these scams, like Novatech promoters, they keep saying is that they say things like that make it seem like they don't care about the law. They say things that come off as if they're trying to deter you from filing a civil lawsuit. They try to say things to discourage you from using the law that you have the right to do to shut down this stupid scam. They think it's a threat. It's funny how that term is being used when it comes to cease and desist orders or civil lawsuits. It's not a threat. No one's threatening to harm anybody or do anything to anyone. As a matter of fact, I have done nothing but said and promoted that if you're going to handle them, handle it the legal way. Because that way is more meaningful and it's going to hurt more than anything else. No. Don't threaten to hurt them or do anything to them. Tell them that you're going to file a civil lawsuit and let it be. It's not even a threat. It's what you're going to do, and you do it. Report these people to the FTC. Report your uplines, your promoters, the stupid peons All of these people that are sitting here being deceptive, lying to you, telling you that this is passive income when it's not. That you can make money by, trading crypto when they're not trading anything. When they're not registered to do it. And then whatever tokens they're trying to give you are absolutely worthless because they're not recognized beyond the world of Novatech. It's like Martian money coming here to Earth and then people trying to use that to buy food. Well, it's not recognizable. No one accepts it. You can't expect a bank to take fake crypto tokens that they don't recognize, that don't know what it is, and convert it to US dollars. If they don't want US dollars, I don't even understand why they even push this whole nonsense, this narrative that you can get all of this money in US dollars and that your return on investment is in US dollars, but they think that US dollar is losing value. It's so contradictory, it's not even funny. But then when you need to pay your bills or you want to buy a house or whatever, you're going to need US dollars to do that. So when you try to convert their fake crypto tokens, it's not going to convert. The only thing you're getting is a percentage of other people's money. That's it. That's all you're getting. There's no trading. So you get 10 people come in and they all bring in $10,000, $100,000. You're just getting a percentage of that $100,000. But when money starts flowing, then that's when the return on investments start decreasing. When people start pulling out, then that's when they start getting mad, talking about you shouldn't pull out. Well, why not? Because if this is a real trading platform, if there's real trading going on, if they were registered with the FTC to do that, it wouldn't be a big deal. But since they know that they only operate based on money coming in from their new victims that they bamboozle and lie to bring in, if you pull that money out, that's less money that's being circulated around the whole group. And that is not how legitimate investment companies operate. It should not be based on investments or recruitments. It should be based on investments with real stocks, with real ROIs coming in, and they should be registered to do that. Theirs is just based on recruitment and people bringing in new money. So you see here, before you pay for a business opportunity or coaching program, these are the main things to look out for. Take your time to talk to someone you trust. Call an attorney. I mean, if you really just want to, get down to it, just call an attorney. Do some research. Search online for the name of the company, review scam or complaint, or words like review. I literally did that with Novatech. Is Novatech a scam? And the answer was yes. And that was it. And it's not a scam because I said so. It's a scam because they have cease and desist orders with evidence and documentation that says so. So these promoters try to deter you away from the law. They try to act as if laws aren't laws and facts aren't facts. And they live in some alternate reality where their mind is just gone. But let them live there while they get named in lawsuits and in cease and desist orders. So while they're living in La La Land somewhere, go ahead and file your civil lawsuits. You have standing if you have proof and evidence to prove that they scammed you out of some money under some deceptive practices and lies, like their Zoom presentations and all this other nonsense, or they posting up stuff on social media or their videos. Let that be the base of evidence to prove your case. Report them to the FTC as well and keep it going because you owe them nothing. They can say what they want, but they can't stop people from doing that. They're just going to get mad and try to dismiss the law like it's not a thing. The laws exist for a reason. And most of them would still call 911 if they needed legal help. So much for that. Read success stories and testimonies with skepticism. Check out your coach's credentials. Be ready for the upsell. Just certain things like I'm at the part 2. I was done. When my mom told me about Novatech, and I was like, oh, okay. And I Googled it and said, is Novatech a scam? It said yes. And then I saw the cease and desist orders. I was like, oh, it's a scam. I mean, the end. So they don't want you to believe in the law. They don't want you to believe in the cease and desist orders or any federal government agency or our court systems. They want you to ignore it like it doesn't exist. But it does. And at the end of the day, when they start standing before federal judges and federal courts, and their own words and videos are used against them in the court of law, they won't have a defense. As always, report fraud to the FTC, the SEC, your Attorney General's office. Report the fraud. Report the promoters. Forward them the videos and all the other documentation they have up on the internet that can easily be found. I mean, they're so brazen with it. This information came from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, another government agency, our SEC. Beware of pyramid schemes posing as multi-level marketing programs. So if you guys look this up, and you'll see here, some MLM programs are actually pyramid schemes, a type of fraud in which participants profit almost exclusively through recruiting other people to participate in the program. Pyramid schemes masquerading as MLM programs often violate the federal securities laws, such as laws prohibiting fraud and requiring the registration of securities offerings and broker-dealers. In a pyramid scheme, money from new participants is used to pay recruiting commissions that may take any form, including the form of securities, to earlier participants, just like how in classic Ponzi schemes, money from new investors is used to pay fake profits to earlier investors. It basically benefits the people at the top. So your uplines that got 15,000 people underneath them, yeah, they're going to get more money than the lowly peasants coming in underneath the scam that's like number 15,001. If you got 15,000 people in a group that you've recruited, you are a promoter of this scam. Plain and simple. And they're going to get a bigger cut of the money that comes in from the new victims. And I say victims because there are a lot of victims out there that have bought into the lie. They bought into the deception. Because scams like Novatech pose themselves as a hedge fund or as a trading platform, lying about what they do in order to recruit people into it. They were never honest about it. They didn't say, this is a scam, enter at your own risk. Nope. They didn't say that. People came into this under the deception of this being some sort of crypto trading ordeal. But you can't prove that your website is even real or that your platform is real and legitimate and that there's actual trading occurring, that you're providing goods or services to anyone. So when they're coming to you devoid of reality and ignoring the law, please understand that more than likely, if you can't even acknowledge that the law exists or that these cease and desist orders exist, more than likely you're not going to be honest about anything else. So it's a scam. Don't do it. And some of these promoters are promoting more than one scam. They're not just promoting Novatech. They're promoting other scams. And I've literally pointed out 2 or 3 that were like, all you do is promote MLM scams. That's all you're doing. You're not teaching people how to read the stock market at all. Break that down and give people options here. No, you're just promoting MLM scams. All of them. You shouldn't be worried about a rug pull. All fast money isn't easy money. But then you got to pay all that money up in SEC fines. What was the point? Good luck to that. What was the purpose? Now you got to get attorneys to go to the court to defend yourself, because the burden of proof is on you defending yourself and proving that you're innocent when you're not. When all of your videos on your YouTube channel will be nothing but proof that you were promoting a scam. MLM scams, to be exact. My God. So in these scams here, you have, like I said, the fake profits, people just getting a percentage of other people's money. There's no profits being made. Recently, the SEC has sued the alleged operators of large-scale pyramid schemes for violating federal securities laws through the guise of MLM programs. That is why Novatech is being hit with cease and desist orders. That is why they're being investigated by the SEC. They're operating under the guise of an MLM program when it's not. They're operating under the guise of being some sort of trading crypto platform when it's not. And they're trading, their crypto tokens are fake. They're not registered. They're fake. They're not real. So these are the parameters to consider when you're joining an MLM program. Hallmarks of a pyramid scheme: no genuine product or service, promises of high returns on a short time period, easy money or passive income. My God, how many times have you seen that with these MLM scams like Novatech? Passive income, passive income, passive income. Are you kidding me? Be wary if you offer compensation in exchange for little work, such as making payments, recruiting others, and placing advertisements. Ugh. No demonstrated revenue from retail sales. Buy-in required, because you got to pay for a package to get into this nonsense just for passive income to come through recruiting others. I mean, that's where it's coming from. Then they tell you don't pull out. Oh, and there's some throw out this acronym of FUD. Yeah, good luck to defending that in court as well, because most federal judges are just going to laugh. If not, look at you like you're dumber than you already are. They're going to laugh. What is this dumb acronym you're saying? FUD? What is that? No, okay. Well, that still has nothing to do with you actually participating and promoting a scam. So here's the fine and or prison time you're going to get. The end. Complex commission structure. In my last video that I did about Novatech's cease and desist orders, I literally included their whole complex, like 30+ page policy or whatever they created, and you can see that whole thing, read it. You can pause the video and read the entire thing, and it's just god awful. Emphasis on recruiting. Like most scams, you need people coming in with fresh money. People aren't people in MLM scams. People represent dollars. That's it. You're not a person, you're a dollar sign in an MLM scam. And then when you don't get your money back and the scam takes you your money and you don't see any of it, or you can't pull out, then they all of a sudden want to treat you as if you did something wrong when they deceptively drafted you into this MLM scam. They're god-awful people, and no one owes them anything. You should be reporting them to the SEC left and right. The FTC, the Attorney General, write letters to your prosecutors and DAs in your state. Get the SEC and FINRA, these government agencies that can issue cease and desist orders to do that. And then you, as a active citizen, as a person, individually, can issue a cease and desist letter. There are templates online. You can consult an attorney to help you draft a cease and desist letter. And if they ignore it, which they most likely will, then you can use that as your premise and foundation to help give you more legal standing to file a lawsuit, a civil lawsuit. So don't let anybody deter you from doing that, because you have every right to do that. You have the constitutional right to do that. I think it's the 7th Amendment. If I'm not mistaken, you might want to look that up. But you have the constitutional right to file a civil lawsuit against an individual or a business, especially if you've been defrauded. Even if it's for nothing but to get them deposed and to get discovery of material. Best two things you can get that might be worth more than the money anyway. Because if they go in and they try to lie about the information and perjure themselves under oath, guess what? They're going to prison anyway. Don't get in a courtroom and get sworn on an oath and then go perjure yourself. Look at that. But that to me can prove to be more valuable than just seeing the civil lawsuit as a way to get money back. It is a way to get your money back. But it's also a way to get information and just the truth. To get them deposed and to have questions asked to them that more than likely they won't be able to answer, no matter how much practice them and their defense counsel try to put into that. So, food for thought. The SEC has taken emergency enforcement action to stop alleged pyramid schemes that violate the federal securities laws, including schemes disguised as MLM programs, because nobody wants that crap infiltrated into our financial system, into our economy. We don't want our investors and our citizens to be taken advantage of. I don't want to see my fellow American citizens have money stolen from them through some deception or false narrative of an MLM scam. I would hate to see that. Nobody should be put in a situation where they're struggling or they end up in debt because they lost money under a deception, not because you didn't invest what you couldn't lose. Who wants to invest money that they know they're gonna lose? Besides the fact that your fake MLM scam is not even promising me a loss. It's not even being honest about that. So you hear that same rhetoric from these same morons that tell you don't invest money you can't afford to lose, because they don't want you to go the legal route. They don't want you to report them. They don't want you to file a civil lawsuit. They're scared. But the law still stands, and they should fear it, especially when they know they don't have a defense. Most of them will not know what to say. If you were to file a civil lawsuit against them, get their behinds deposed, and then they have to get on the oath and answer some questions. Most of them won't have anything to say. They'll be sitting there trying to decry, oh, I was ignorant to the fact. That's not a defense. That's not a defense. And I've said that in several videos. Good luck to that. So this is the information that you guys have from the FTC and the SEC website. And I've been trying to warn some of these promoters of these scams, like, y'all might want to stop doing it. Because stop doing it. I mean, how are you helping anyone? And then to just dismiss it, don't be a victim, it's all your fault. Well, you're still an idiot, and they'll probably be seeing you in court. Don't get mad when you get named in a cease and desist order either. How about that? You want to tell people don't be a victim and it's their fault for being deceived and lied to about an investment opportunity? Well, then don't your ass get mad and say nothing when you get named in that cease and desist order. Don't say nothing. Go pout in the corner and throw a tantrum by yourself with guard names as everybody else you want to pout with. Go over there in the corner and go throw a tantrum over there in the corner. Don't nobody care about you throwing a tantrum because you just got named in a cease and desist order because you were promoting a scam, an MLM scam to be exact. And then you try to tell people that it's their fault for being deceived by an MLM scam promoter about an MLM scam and some return on investment that's not anywhere near realistic, but you all brought people into this anyway. And they trusted you, thinking that you were looking out for them in their best interest when you were only doing it for yourself. Because those scams only benefit the people at the top. And now that it's falling apart, all of these idiots are talking about, oh, you shouldn't invest money you can't afford to lose. That would be applicable to real stocks in a stock market where you have losses and gains. MLM scams where you promote not having any losses is null and void. It's a moot point. Moot point. M-O-O-T point. It is so irrelevant, it's not even funny. So why tell people that? Tell them to shut up and get ready for this civil lawsuit, or the cease and desist order is going to have their name and information and all that in it. Good luck with that. You all have the power and the right to do as you need to do to protect yourselves and your families and your finances. You have government agencies and court systems. We have whole laws to try to protect our citizens and our businesses and our investors and our economy. Nobody wants to see the whole nation's economy fall to a scam or have it infiltrated with scams. Who wants to live like that? Nobody wants to fear putting money in a bank because you don't know if it's a legitimate bank or not. Why should you fear investing money into something because you were lied to and told that you can get this money back with this ROI percentage, and it turns out it's an MLM scam? Who wants to be worried about that every day? It's a headache. So the way to take power back into your own hands and out of the hands of these stupid MLM scam promoters and scam owners is to exercise the law. The one thing they don't want you to do. And they try to make you feel bad about it when you do it. And at the end of the day, they don't have a defense. There's nothing they can say. So report them to the SEC. File civil lawsuits if you need to. I will start with the cease and desist letter because any individual can send that. And if they fail to cease and desist, then use that as your basis to file your lawsuit. and that helps to kind of build up a better case. That's my personal opinion and what I would do. Please get an attorney and ask them all the questions until their ears bleed. Read and research information. All I'm doing is sharing information on the web, on the internet, from real government agencies and legal information that sometimes people just need help understanding and some guidance. And then, if you can't afford an attorney, each state has a attorneys association that can help give you some advice and where to go, or what documents you can fill out on your own, how to access templates for these cease and desist letters or lawsuits, because you can file a lawsuit on your own without an attorney. But if you have the funds to get an attorney, I would advise you do so. If you don't, I would at least advise you to call to get information on free, attorney's advice or guidance, or, some consultations. Some attorneys offer free consultations. And then go through the FTC. I mean, the FTC, if nothing else, are going to investigate, and, they're going to take it from there. You got your cease and desist letter you've sent out. You can let the FTC know that and say, hey, I sent them a cease and desist letter. It's been a month. They're still at it, So now it's time to report them. And then the FTC can add that into their investigation. A lot of these MLM scams are under investigation. They don't even know it. And then they're not that smart to really figure that out, apparently. And they don't care. They don't care. They don't care if people lose money. They don't care what you're going through. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I'm gonna take action. You can hear these promoters sit here and they're very, they're soulless with it. They're dousing people for falling victim to a scam. But if you're deceiving people and giving misleading and false information, you can't say that they should not be a victim, because they are. You lied to them. You told them that they can get an ROI that doesn't exist. And now this scam is folding in, and whether it's a rug pull or whatever, or it's just a flat out scam. It is what it is, still a scam. You're trying to be devoid of laws and being cold-hearted towards the people that lost their money. It's not going to get you anywhere. You're still going to get reported. You're still going to be named to cease and desist orders. And you're still going to be named in the charges from these agencies that are investigating. So, I hope this was helpful for you all. By all means, like I said, and all I get some understanding. Call some attorneys. Call the state courthouses in your state to see what free programs are offered for legal advice. And report these people to the FTC. And let's get this crap shut the hell down. All right. You all continue to stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until